Husky looking for that damage, finds him on the Diablo. Diablo forced it back out as their health drops low. The Immortal now is at 25%.
Back down Yo on the Grey Man, gonna be the first to fall. But is it ETC? No, that's Malthail up there. A triple.
The Leyline used in the back, catching 3 people on top of that, followed up by the APOC and the Lurking On, catching 2, but this time On is going to be the first one.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit, while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi.
There's the lead, catches him in the mud pit. Time trap does pop, mosh pit goes out, ProBUs still in trouble. Pops to stay a while and listen, but it's not going to matter.
Here comes the blowups on the backside, but he's doing it under, and then stunned. Oh my goodness! The combo!
Getting shrunk down, ETC getting killed. He becomes dog food for the Grey Man.
I didn't think they had a chance. I thought it was all over. We said all or nothing, and they got absolutely everything.
Happy Thursday, everyone. NGS Season 11 playoffs, and it's almost like we set it up because you're right in frame where you should be. Ace joining me on the cast. What's up, bud?
Hey, Mongoose, how's it going? I don't think we've ever co-cast together, despite being...
We have not.
We've been in this league for like 20-something combined seasons, I'm pretty sure. Something close to that.
Pretty close.
And we have never co-cast together. So I'm excited to be able to join you today for this BNE playoff match.
Absolutely. And what should be a good one is I adjust the volume on you again. Speaketh again. We're doing settings on the fly here. Say something again, Ace.
All right, I will continue, and I'll say that these two teams are some of my favorite teams in the entire, in all of NGS. We've got ProBUs versus Die for Catgirls today.
And I believe you played with ProBUs a bit, right? Yeah?
I played with ProBUs. We've scrimmed them a bunch, and then I played with them for XGDI, and I played with Durton's Couch, who had a few people, like Sailor Twift and Shamhat on the team several times during Season 9. So I'm very familiar with both of these teams.
Well, I went ahead and put up the standings for our fine folks in chat. We have ProBUs tied for the 2nd seed in B Northeast, tied with myself. We had identical points. We were fortunate enough to get the tiebreaker over them, so they finished number 3. Number 2, 3, and 4 in this division were like super duper close. Die for Catgirls with a real nice season, slotting in at number 6. Now, worth pointing out, ProBUs only lost this season to Yellow Owls 2-0, to Regen Ghost 2-0, and they dominated every other team that they played except for one, and that was Die for Catgirls, a 2-1. Die for Catgirls also took a game off of us, so they have shown they can beat the number 2 and the number 3 seeds. So I would not expect this to be one-sided by any stretch.
For sure. Definitely, I mean, having played both of these teams before and being familiar with them, we should be in for a really fantastic match coming at us. So, Mongoose, I may have not had enough preparation time. How did we get here to Tomb of the Spider Queen? Can you recap some of the maps and however that
Absolutely.
went down?
Almost as if somebody who was awesome designed a scene for this, for casters, to show just what you're asking, and I have gone and put that up. So ProBUs being the higher seed, they get the choice of map pick or first pick. ProBUs chose first pick. Die for Catgirls took us to Tomb of the Spider Queen after ProBUs banned Cursed Hollow and Dragonshire. Die for Catgirls banning out the 2-lane maps, Battlefield and Baraxis.
Very cool. Very cool.
And we are in the draft. We're flying, Ace. We're flying.
Thank goodness. We're flying after that 8-minute delay. No problem. Definitely my fault. Don't blame Mongoose. He's a great person. Make sure to follow. The button's right there, and if you're feeling so incentivized, hit the subscribe button. I can chill for other people, but not myself.
All right, so first ban Stukov coming out for ProBUs, and then a very quick May ban. I expect the bans game 1 to go pretty quick, because especially the early ones, these guys know what they want to deny to the other team already. They've done their homework, I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. Stukov, I believe... Now, I don't know who's playing all the roles on Die for Catgirls, but I believe Sailor Twift, just judging by the Stukov ban, is playing that healer role, and Sailor Twift is very good on the Stukov, so definitely a respectful ban there. And 8-Bit, big fan of the Mei, so that is why she has gone here, as well as just being one of the best tanks in the game.
First pick Sonya. In my experience, the last 3 to 4 weeks or so, I mean, Sonya was always solid, but she seems to have really skyrocketed up the popularity and the prioritization, both in Storm League, in my experiences as it were, and in NGS. I've seen her high ban, high pick priority kind of all around.
Yeah, I was hearing inklings that she should have been nerfed in the last patch, which I think was 6 weeks ago. Blizzard, please send us something.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. Let's go look her up. And so I slap on the hero's profile, and she's got a clean 59% win rate from level 1 with her slam build. It's actually insane. So that meta has trickled down from like the CCL and in-house tier, has now made it all the way through the entirety of HOTS at this point. So Sonya, highly contested.
Yeah, it turns out she's good. A couple other stats for our teams we're going to throw out at you. So Tomb of the Spider Queen, the selection of Difer Catgirls, they're 3-2 on Tomb this season, so they clearly like it, play here a lot. And the Mephisto ban easily explained out. ProBUs 4-0 this season on the Mephisto, undefeated. So we have Deckard, we have Joe for Difer Catgirls taking the tank and the support, and then the Tassadar ETC, so that front line already solidified for ProBUs, and White Main ban coming out for Difer Catgirls.
Yep. Zadie strongly prefers both the Mephisto and the Tassadar. So that, as you mentioned, pretty explainable ban there. White Main, I think, is an interesting one because playing with Irby, I know he can play the White Main, but isn't one of his first preference heroes. So I wonder if that's more of like a Difer Catgirls going into some kind of blow-up style comp that would be denied by White Main. But I mean, Uther still exists, so can't go too much into that. Ooh, Deathwing and Gazlo, so triple front line. Wow, spicy.
So Gazlo likely going to be the Grav Bomb to set up those Wombos. One game this season on White Main for ProBUs, which they won, FYI. And then
they won a lot.
The Deathwing, who I've actually seen, just once again, my experience for what it were, I've seen a little bit of an uptick in Deathwing play as well. Seems to be popping up here or there.
Yeah, definitely. Ooh, double global picked up here, which is not as big of a deal on Tomb of the Spider Queen. I mean, it's the smallest map that exists currently in Heroes of the Storm, so it's an interesting prioritization. And with the Wingman ban on level 1, Falstad hasn't been in contention in NGS as much as Ladder, but still powerful pickups there to round out a pretty clean composition here for ProBUs.
Yeah, even globals aside, Brightwing is still really good, and Gust is just an absolute play-making ability. I've seen teams do some kind of cute stuff with the Gust and the Deathwing. If the Deathwing gets a little too hyphy, you just kind of Gust everyone else away. It doesn't matter if you hit Deathwing, he doesn't go nowhere, and you can just pile onto him. So we'll see how that goes, but our teams are picked. Who you like based on draft?
Do you do predictions in the chat?
I'm too lazy to do that. Here, our predictions will be, tell us in chat who you think won the draft. And then we'll
or just who you're rooting for.
Or
let's be real here.
Either one. I've got a notepad. I'll go old school. I'll just write it down.
Oh, there we go.
Although it's on a 90-second delay, so this game is going to be a minute into it before we're getting those results. So,
don't think the game will be determined by then.
Probably not. I think that's a safe assumption. So our number 3 seed in Division B Northeast, ProBUs, featuring 8-Bit on ETC, John Bunyan on Tassadar. We actually thought that would be Zadie, but it's Zadie on the Falstad, Irby on the Brightwing, and Sage playing the Sonya.
And on the right side of the map, red team, our number 6 seed from B Northeast, it is Difer Catgirls. We've got Skathar on the Gazlo, Teeth on the Jim Raynor, Earl Schlepp on Johanna, Sailor Twift on the Deathwing, and Shamhat on Deckard Kane.
So worth pointing out, One of the questions on Raynor, Ace in the Hole or Exterminator. This is a very minion-heavy map, but they think they have enough wave clear without it, opting to go the extra damage for heroes, Ace in the Hole.
Can agree. That wave basically was evaporated. With the Johanna, you do have enhanced wave clear in your tank, so I like the choice of Ace in the Hole here.
Yeah, the Joe Deathwing is going to just nuke the wave, so they figure extra damage rather than extra clear. Rotations going on in the top lane. Falstad does eat the scroll, I believe is that particular ability. Falstad going to go ahead and fly down onto Gazlo. Aggressive rotation from Zadie there, trying to go onto the Gazlo. They do get the Q, the W, but not quite enough. Deathwing, Sailor Twift going to come down and reinforce, throw some stuns out, one of which will hit Falstad. And now we're in a 3-2.
Yep, just for a short while the heroes are here. I would like to see where the bruisery style heroes or some of the offlaners go. Will they go and take a camp, or will they continue just kind of falling into rotations as standard? And so far, no camps being taken, although Sage checking out that siege camp in the bottom.
Yeah, both sides kind of prioritizing making sure they grab all the gems, not miss any soak. 8-Bit has been trying to be fairly aggressive in dismounting and controlling the space around the top turn-in here as best he can. But you mentioned the camps, Ace. We've got ProBUs, got the Falstad, they got the Brightwing, both globals on their mid-camp here.
Yep, that'll be a good bruiser pickup here. They'll have about 30-something gems, so they may be able to turn in with that or try and push into mid lane. But either way, it gives you rotational advantage and control of that uppermost turn-in point. So really a nice pickup coming in here for ProBUs as both teams pick up level 4.
Yeah, and no miss soak, the most important thing by ProBUs. Die for Catgirls has a lot of wave clear. It was very important for ProBUs to make sure while they had 2 heroes MIA that they didn't miss any of that sweet, sweet soak.
Yep. Now we see ProBUs pushing with that bruiser camp here for just a short duration. We'll have to see what they do with the map control, whether they siege into middle, which is what appears to be happening right now, or if they'll try and find value elsewhere. Very interesting. We've got the double gem build starting for Deckard Cain as well. So we've got Sapphire on 1, which is more standard, but Ruby on 4, which has been relatively absent from the pick statistics ever since it got its nerf a couple months ago.
A free turn in there by Die for Catgirls. I was wondering how Joe was going to turn in, because typically if you're not getting a kill, you need your tank to make the space for turn in, but she just kind of walked up to it and got that channel. Raynor may be in trouble. Each power slide from 8-Bit. There's the Falstad. There's the Tassadar. Teeth in a lot of trouble, and first blood over to ProBUs, getting Jimmy Raynor in the mid lane.
Yeah, and really nice port there from Irby. Teleported onto 8-Bit, so 8-Bit could be more comfortable diving under those towers to help body block the Jimin, and even little Brightwing herself was able to create just a little bit of body blocking and a polymorph for an extra slow. So nice job there confirming up that kill. And that gives them level 7 and advantage on the turn-ins, which both teams have available.
Worth noting, Falstad flying bottom again, trying to get the Gazlo, does get the hammer, and no W though. Nice kind of peeling for himself is Scathar. But that'll force him to go back. Both teams do have enough for a turn-in, Ace, so the posturing around these turn-ins has begun. Actually, Sonya managed to get in. I thought the Deathwing interrupted, but it was just barely turned in. Sonya kind of snuck in those gems in the bottom.
Yep, with the pressure onto the Gazlo from the Falstad fly, they were able to just rotate Sonya around to go get that turn-in. So really nice job there. And we see already bottom tower taken out in the bottom lane as well. So that Webweaver really has capability of pushing hard there.
Yeah, one of the things that Sonya does so well is, you know, as far as solo laners go, she really has the ability to output structure damage if you can't deal with her. So Gazlo's doing his best, but Sonya just kind of already wearing out those structures. Sailor Twift all by herself in the middle lane on the Deathwing. Die for Catgirls trying to clear out the top. Top has been cleared out, now moving to the mid lane.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest instruments of Sonya's siege damage is a level 4 talent, Shattered Ground, which increases her slam damage, her splash damage, to 125% of the base damage. Originally, it's 25%, so it's a 5-fold multiplier on the splash damage. So if you saw earlier, Sailor Twift was lined up along the bottom of the building and hitting all of the tower, gate, and the other tower for 125% of slam damage, which is a ton. So that talent, kind of crazy. Part of the reason why she's so good right now.
Yeah, all the Sony players really getting on that W build, really becoming their jam here. But I kind of feel like the whole game up to this point, Ace, has just been a prelude. There are so many big heroics on both sides that it kind of feels like we're just biding our time to 10, and then the game's really going to get started.
Yeah, that's a lot of Tomb. I mean, first, Web Weaver Wave didn't even get a 4. We did get towers in middle and bottom, but that is about it. So, yeah, we are here in the level 10 waiting room, waiting for the fireworks to pop off anytime now.
I will say, you know, we mentioned ProBUs with the double globals and how those don't get quite as much impact on Die for Catgirls. They've really been using Zadie down in the bottom lane, who almost got the Gazlo. It was very, very close. Now Sailor Twift pressuring out Sage. Here comes Johanna, not able to dismount, but there goes Sailor Twift just out of range of the Fire Breath as Falstad. Level 10s are here for ProBUs.
Yep, we do have a lot of the expected ults with Mosh Pit, Archon. They're going to try and actually find a pick onto Earlschlepp. Do they have the D? They do not. So the leap from Sage, which was the next one on the list, does confirm the kill, and more importantly, gets 25 gems off the board for Die for Catgirls. So they're not. They still have enough for turn-in, but they don't have enough for something like a double turn-in now, which is really important.
Big get there for ProBUs. A nice wall by Zadie to set that up, and then the leap to finish it off. Level 10s here for Die for Catgirls. We have Stay a While and Listen for Deckard Cain, Bellowing Roar for Deathwing, Hyperion for Jimmy Raynor, Blessed Shield for Joe, and of course the Gravo Bomb for Gazlo, trying to set up Wombo Combo-esh fun for all.
Wombo combo fun for everybody that is not a ProBUs player or fan, I would suppose.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of capabilities. Ooh, Shamhat just misses the Stay a While and Listen. Would have caught 8-Bit in that, trying to get to the solo pick. But it is a relatively short cooldown. 8-Bit goes for the Mosh, does hit just the Deckard Cain, and Johanna is able to Iron Skin right through it. And Jimbo Raynor is able to, not escape. Zadie can't come in on the top and makes a nice kill confirmation on Dim, so that'll allow ProBUs to push into this mid fort and possibly be able to take it out here, and then maybe facilitate a turn-in.
Yeah, the Die for Catgirls there was really fighting with one hand tied behind their back, because basically that entire battle took place in the spell armor, so that was a really big advantage there for ProBUs there in that mid lane.
Yep, that spell. The Bruisers, I don't think have been picked up yet. Have no, there's no Mercenary XP, no Merc XP. So yeah, no Mercs picked up this entire game, and I have to wonder if that's at least some of the difference that's been made. Obviously, being down 3 kills is part of it, but the Mercenaries are important even on this map.
And I don't think Die for Catgirls has actually secured a turn-in quite yet either.
No.
So given those things, they're actually closer than one would suppose, to be honest.
Yep, but importantly, they are down that level 13 talent tier now as the Web Weavers descend for ProBUs and begin to push in. Blessed Shield comes out onto Zadie, but no follow-up from Earlschlepp is going to be found, and the Gust will counteract the Stay a While and Listen. So ults used, but nothing gained so far. Sailor Twift gets leapt upon and killed. No stun, just death, the most powerful CC condition.
Absolutely. Gazlo bottom lane the whole time, so that was a 5v4. ProBUs really pushing in, punishing the overstaying death lane. Top fort will go down. Sonya is going to escort this mid Wave Weaver, where they will likely get front wall on the mid keep. Gazlo pretty much done cleaning up bottom. Now Sonya's going to pay him a little bit too.
Yep. That bottom fort still remains intact, albeit no well to be found. Scathar takes a bunch of damage. Sage is committing to this with the Brightwing port called for. There's the Grab-A-Bomb to try and peel. Zadie rolls over the wall as well. This is a lot of a rotation from ProBUs, but there are 36 gems on Scathar, and they go down, and that, all of a sudden, another huge amount of gems knocked off of Die for Catgirls.
And not shown on the observer there, but 8-Bit actually came around and cut off the reinforcements too, was harassing Die for Catgirls in this little kind of corridor here as they tried to come down. So Globals have minimal impact on Tomb, but ProBUs really maximizing what they're getting out of him. The port and the fly to secure the Gazlo kill and 36 big gems.
Yeah, definitely less value on the globals for macro and more value on the globals for creating a player advantage at any location on the map. Nice wall there from John Bunyan to keep Johanna out for now, but all of a sudden cooldowns are in short supply here for ProBUs. Leap out and barrel roll out for Falstad will keep everybody safe, and great disengage there from ProBUs. They leave unscathed and with a bruiser steal.
Yeah, I love that aggressive play from Die for Catgirls. They wanted to get a fight pre-16. You certainly, that's a good place for it. So good aggressive play by Die for Catgirls and a nice disengage by ProBUs. And it looks like ETC is going to be conceding the turn in. Yes, he was there by himself, but simply opted to let him go. These waves, bottom in particular, are kind of pushed out. So I think Die for Catgirls Ace probably will need to secure a kill or two here to really maximize his value.
Yep, but they're going to have a tough time doing that down level 16, which is just picked up for ProBUs. They find a two-man mosh. The Condemned finds the interrupt there. Shamhat going for the stay a while Sailor Twift channels that Molten Breath directly into three members. Sage is very low, but the health bars for Die for Catgirls are so low, they are not going to be able to pursue this any further during this engagement until they get healed up.
Yeah, that was actually probably the best 5-on-5 fight we've seen from Die for Catgirls. I think if that was a even level fight, I think Die for Catgirls wins that. Both sides were pretty low, but nobody ultimately going down despite a lot of R buttons being pressed.
Yeah, 8% more health really, I think, saved a lot of lives there on the ProBUs side. So, yeah, as you said, scaling really an important factor in that fight. Deathwing is just going to have to Cataclysm out of there to escape. Loses 2 armor plates and all the web weavers cleaned up, and 1 tower is down, Mongoose.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom wave was never really going to get any value. The whole time those web weavers were pushing, with occasional, my favorite kind of catapults, occasional catapults in lane to help clean them up. Die for Catgirls couldn't secure the kills, and ultimately couldn't assist the push. Although, despite losing 50, 60 some odd gems so far this game, Die for Catgirls does actually have back-to-back turn-ins.
Yeah, that would be a good way to leverage their lane positioning momentum at this point, especially in that top lane. But I think they are looking to get level 16 before they try and do anything further. Although that leaves the window open for Zadie to get a large turn-in the bottom lane, and that's going to be third web weaver phase here for ProBUs. 8-Bit tries to get a slide. There's Sage with the leap, jumping onto Teeth on the Jim Raynor. Gust coming from Zadie, but she flies through the stay a while and gets slept. Wall from John Bunyan is trying to lock the members of Die for Catgirls down, but the engagement just hasn't developed to their advantage. Molten Breath misses from Sailor Twift, and now ProBUs for the first time on the run in one of these engagements.
Yeah, they weren't quite able to secure 16 with Die for Catgirls, but a pretty good team fight overall. And right as I say that, Gazlo in a world of trouble. Sonya able to spear her way in and secure the kill. Joe has to pop the Iron Skin to get out, but Joe will not get out either, and that is a 2 for naught on the re-engage by ProBUs, and now they are looking for more as web weavers continue to push down all 3 lanes.
Oh, imagine if Deathwing had the conflagration at level 16 when that fight went down. Don't imagine it anymore because Deathwing is down. Web Weavers have pushed into the mid lane. There are no reinforcements left though, so the keep not easy to be taken, but can be taken, but it probably won't allow them to push on the core unless they reinforce into top. Top keep goes down, so yeah, maybe this is an opportunity. Gaslo's resurrecting in Johanna, so it'll be a 5v4 under core to save game for Die for Catgirls.
And Gust is up, worth noting. Core melting quickly, 40%, 30%. There's the Gust to push the members away, and that is going to be game 1 over to ProBUs on Tomb of the Spider Queen.
And in dominant fashion too, that was 8-0 in kills. At no point did ProBUs ever feel even close to threatened there. and really solid play coming out, and Sonya topping the hero damage stat. We love our stats to blame our teammates and show that we're superior, but Sonya right there, that's a lot of damage. And that's not even just soul lane trading damage. That's just a lot of team fight damage. Sonya probably going to get a ban in game 2.
Yeah,
I'd
or
be surprised if she did.
alternatively, if you're Die for Catgirls, you take
Yeah.
first pick and you make the other team banner, right? To rip that first pick, Sony yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very strong possibility here. So Die for Catgirls definitely going to have to make some kind of adjustments to their plan for game number 2, and we'll have to see what that is.
Yeah, tip of the hat to Sage. It felt like every time that leap was used, there was somebody dropping on the other end of it. Some really big time leaps there. And it seemed like a lot more to secure kills, actually, rather than initiate. A lot of times you see a leap to start it off, but Sage was using it to finish it off a lot of that game.
Yeah. And Sonya's just so strong with the leap right now because you can leap pre-slam into one of the big slams that she gets with the level 1 talent, I
Right.
believe,
Mhm.
and then just output a truckload of damage. And especially with level 16, that giant slammer ability or whatever it is that does percent damage. Oh, Sonya is able to just tear through the 3 bulky comp of Die for Catgirls.
All right, well, we are going to take about a minute BRB while our teams figure out where they're going. So enjoy some epic Blizzard music, and we'll be back momentarily. All right, Ace, we're back. We know where we're going. We are going to Alterac Pass. As expected, Die for Catgirls opted for that first pick. Give them a little more control in the draft. And I kind of think that was probably the right call.
Yep, first pick has been dominant for about 3 to 4 seasons now, I believe. As the map pool has remained relatively constant, teams are getting more and more strategies prepared for just being able to go to any map. And with 2 map bans, you can just ban out the ones you don't have a plan for. So first pick, definitely the way to go. And looking at the match history of Die for Catgirls, they have not played on this map this season. So a strong pick here for ProBUs with their good showing with the Globals last game.
Yeah, absolutely. Also worth noting, ProBUs 3-0 on Alterac Pass. So definitely a good comfort map pick for them.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Looking at their last series, Die for Catgirls won the first game and then lost the next 2. So we might maybe look at some kind of similar script here. Script writers for NGS busy working on this match. So that way we can get maximum enjoyment, of course. And nothing would make me happier as a caster than Game 3.
And Sir Noble saying in chat he's the I guess the normal tank for Die for Catgirls, but unfortunately work conflicted, and we miss you, Noble. Nothing hurts like missing your game's playoff match for work. But
For sure.
Earl Schlepp
Earl
stepping
Schlepp.
in.
Yep, that's a tough one. I've had the pleasure of playing with Sir Noble through most of the the Durton's Couch season in season 9, and yeah, we were able to make a lot of cool plays happen that season. So, strong tank player in him. Sad that I know it's tough sitting on the sidelines for the team's playoff match, as Mongoose said. So at least you can show up in Twitch chat, cheer on your team, and hope for game number 3 here.
That's right. He may be at work in body, but not in spirit. I'm going to watch Twitch, and I'm going to not work. And I respect that.
There you go.
So,
May banned out again, and that seems pretty standard. I mean, she's busted. There's snowballs everywhere on this snowy map.
Absolutely. May, super strong. She was another hero I thought, honestly, would get a little bit of a nerf bat in the last balance patch, but not so much. And she is still very strong. Lots of playmaking ability, zone control, very durable. And so far, though, not much changing from game 1. First ban Stukov for ProBUs, and first ban May for Die for Catgirls.
Chromie's a good ban.
Yep, going
Chromie
away from the Mephisto.
Yep.
Onto the Chromie.
That could easily be a scouting ban. I have not scouted these teams as much as they have, I hope.
Well, and Chromie poke on Alterac, the delay, the range, totally makes sense. Her zone control, and frankly, she's just really good.
Yeah, she is. Blizzard. She into the ground with her. Just turn her into sand and bury her.
And there
she
it
doesn't
is.
need to exist. There's the Sonya ban.
They
Good
knew
ban
what
there.
was up with that first pick, and then an insta-stat Mephisto. So
Ooh.
the Mephisto was the ban last time. So
Pick
they
deny.
were figuring, they being Die for Catgirls, we're going to get Sonya, or we're going to get Mephisto. But either way, ProBUs is getting neither.
Well done. Well done, Die for Catgirls. Loved the first pick to pick deny. Another hero now, Zadie, showing false stat and 8-bit on the Johanna to start. So very generic draft so far, but still good heroes to start with.
Yeah, I like the adjustment there for Die for Catgirls. I thought that's really good early draft control of the picks that you want, but also denying the other team some of their stronger heroes as well.
Yeah, for sure. Now, what do we see them pair this with? We've got the Ana, probably for the Nano boost.
This screams variant to me. Taunt, Durant, Sleep, Blow Up.
That would be an interesting pickup. I don't know Earl Schlepp's tank pool.
Well, nobody
and
does,
as
Ace.
we've seen from exactly, except anybody that can right-click in the chat box and heroes and right-click on profile. But we can't do that because we're spectators and we only have NGS match data, which there is none. So, wild, wacky possibilities here for Die for Catgirls. And the Malthael is the ban.
And let's see. How do Catgirls respond ban-wise? They get rid of the Brightwing again. The double globals on this map could be a problem. It's a bigger map. They obviously showed they utilized it well. But instead going to be the Deckard. So they don't want the Sleep for the disengage? They don't want the big disengage tool, maybe?
Possibly? Irby plays some Deckard, but I don't think it's that much. And Deckard's fallen out of favor in the meta a fairly large margin ever since the Ruby nerfs. So I think that's an interesting ban there for Die for Catgirls.
So Hogger and Whitemane. So there's why we had the Whitemane ban. Hogger, just really good. Kind of annoying, honestly. He's just an annoying hero to play against.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's what I have to say about Hogger. It's not his best map. He doesn't have quite the rotational speed or the soak capabilities, nor does he have like an infinite bounce around point. You are right. Way to go, Mongoose.
Yeah, I've seen teams run the Ana variant in particular, and then when they grab the Greymane. Because you get the bio grenade on top of the taunt, right? So it doesn't matter if they heal them. Like Whitemane really
Right.
good at
Uther can?
Uther. Yeah, Uther could do it too, but the
Oh,
heals don't matter if the bio grenade's in one,
right.
right? Whitemane can keep her Healy on him all she wants, but if they blow him up fast enough, it doesn't matter.
Yep, that is very true. An intercession would be the only way to do it. Ooh, putting a Tassadar wall between the Varian and the target, or the target and the rest of the team, can be a big part of that. But Greymane has mobility to get over it, Mephisto has range, so
They have a
that
gust
may be
too.
limited. They do have a gust, which is by far their best tool, but also has 3 times the cooldown
Sure.
of taunt. So
But I mean, I
gonna
think
be,
if you can trade the gust for the Durance, maybe.
that would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. That trades evenly until what's that 13 talent that starts with an H?
For
That I
if
can't.
it's a Mephisto talent, you're asking
Mephisto,
the wrong
yeah.
guy. If it's not a tank talent, I don't
Oh
know
my
it.
gosh.
And even if it is a tank talent, I probably know what it does and don't know the name of it because I'm a bad caster.
Hysteria. That's what it is.
Sure, I believe you.
It is. So that talent is one that reduces their ultimate cooldown, as well as a basics cooldown. So that could allow Durance to trade faster than Gust.
All right, we are in to game number 2. The blue team, ProBUs, hoping for the sweep and the chance to play in the second round of the Division B Northeast playoffs. The blue team, 8-bit, will be on Johanna, John Bunyan on Tassadar, Zadie back on Falstad, Irby on Whitemane on a Flying Broom, and Sage on Hogger.
And on the right side of the map, hanging on to their lives in this playoffs, is our number 6 seed. Die for Catgirls. We've got Earl Schlepp on the Mephisto, Skathar moving to the tank-ish in Blaze, Sailor Twift on the other tank-ish in Varian, Shamhat on Ana, and Teeth on the Greymane. So a little bit of role swap, a little bit of capability for Die for Catgirls to mix it up and see what they can get done in this game number 2.
Jiggle Schmack, the co-caster, is of course the person who spoke immediately before your 7th ace. You'll find that out in 90 seconds, so I bet you somebody answers before me. But Ace, I think this game too is simple. Die for Catgirls, their comp was designed to do one thing, and that was explode someone. If they explode people, they have a chance at winning the game, and if they don't, they don't.
Big facts. I agree with you there in the entirety. There's very little to it. I've seen teams run this to high effectiveness all over the divisional ranks from Div E all the way up into the CCL tier. Blow-up comps are a staple
Absolutely.
of Heroes of Storm.
We've seen teams go almost exclusively blow-up comps and climb as high as like borderline heroic on it. It's when executed properly, blow-up comps are just hard to deal with. So we'll see what Die for Catgirls does here.
Die for Catgirls picks up their first camp of this entire series right here at the 1 minute mark. So that's a good start for them. We also see a variety of questing talents on level 1, including the Lion's Maw on 1, the Skull Missile on 1 for Mephisto, and New Habits for Blaze, which is very, very standard.
So normally when I play Varian in a blow-up comp, I like the
Overpower? Yeah.
No, the one that reduces the cooldown. See, I don't know talent names at all, but the one that makes it so he gets his bonus damage on W more, because then he gets the cooling reduction on it later, or the heal down reduction on it later, and I want to proc it more. But they have an Ana, so it's redundant.
Yeah, that's the parry blocks a hero, it refresh and does more damage. Yeah, that's Overpower.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely agree with that, because you can hit him with it, get it reset, and hit it again. So really can get a lot of value out of that in the blow-up comps. John Bunyan is the target of the taunt, and there's the anti-grenade. Boom. First kill secured.
It didn't matter that Irby was right where Irby needed to be and had the healing on him, because the bio grenade was there too. So Shamhat hitting the bio grenade, and that allows Varian to go into the Q talents, which gives him some more slows and some more heals as well.
Yep,
he
there
doesn't
it is.
need to supply healing reduction.
Sure doesn't. A little bit of mistiming there as the Falstad was woken up before the Greymane arrived. But this is a great window here for Die for Catgirls to be aggressive. This is after taunt, but before Intercession, Whitemane's Cleanse comes online.
Yeah,
So this is unlimited power here for this blow-up comp to function.
Yeah, between 6 and 10, that's really when Die for Catgirls is going to have the most advantages before those abilities, the gusts and such, really come online and give ProBUs more tools to deal with it. So I agree. I really want to see them get aggro, get aggressive. Although Earl Schlepp kind of got a little danger zone there.
A little bit. Speaking of saves, I wonder if Irby is going to opt into the Scarlet Aegis, the 40 armor and burst heal, as opposed to the Divine Reckoning, which is more of a standard talent, because the 40 armor will be better than a larger volume of heals because of the anti-grenade. Should be an interesting decision here at level 10.
I'm really impressed. I've been kind of watching Varian going up here to deal with Falstad. Sailor Twift has been doing a really nice job of putting damage on Falstad. Better than I thought he had any right to be honest. Kind of winning the matchup a little bit. Not hard, but a little bit.
Yep. There is an objective, although the team's movements may not imply it until now. Skathar is actually in a bunch of trouble. Is going to get some extra kills from Champat, and Sailor Twift is here to break up the 4v4, turn it into a 5v4, bring the taunt, and bring a kill over to Die for Catgirls. So they're going to have priority on this objective, but Falstad, I think in pretty standard fashion for ProBUs on this map, is just going to go ahead and push down top lane and pretty much ignore this first objective.
Yeah, and I think one of the ways to match that if you're Die for Catgirls, you send like maybe Mephisto to the mid lane right now, get that soak so he's still close enough to come back down if needed, right? That's free soak that's just sitting there.
Absolutely.
But we haven't talked about it as Sailor Twift puts the taunt on Johanna. One of the things that Varian does really well into Johanna, when that shield breaker comes online, even Joe is not safe from that blow up any longer.
Oh, what a jet propulsion from Skathar, going to pick up another kill onto Hogger. Bonus pickup onto 8-Bit, might go through nice blinds and save from Irby, but look at that. The rumbling in the distance, that's top fort falling. ProBUs takes the top fort during all of that. They forfeit up 2 kills and the objective and probably priority to level 10, but they did pick up a fort, which honestly, I don't think any of these cavalry will do for the Catgirls. So still great value gained here for ProBUs.
Yeah, and I think if you're Die for Catgirls, you're happy with that too. You got the objective. You needed to get the objective. You're going to win the race to 10, and Greymane will do structure damage. There's the sleep. Joe has to pop Iron Skin. And here we go. So Blaze monitoring top, Cogger bottom. Everyone else from both teams is here in the mid lane. One of the few maps, Ace, where mid lane is the priority.
Yep, that null camp in the middle, creating a minus armor zone, is a very important one to run down, but we do have those periphery bosses that do create win conditions as well. So easy to push down mid to start, gain map control, and then prioritize the sides to get a boss win condition opened up.
Yeah, not just the zones there, as they are going on to Hogger, who's sitting in the bush, Sage, very safe, very intelligent play there. But the mid lane forts give the long range mages a safe place sometimes to poke away the objective.
Oh, very true as well. That definitely a very important reason. That's why you see a lot of Stukov and Chromie bans on this map. Zadie gets taunted, but got the barrel rolled out just beforehand, so was able to stay at an arm's reach or a wing's reach for Falstad.
Claw's
and
reach
be able
of Greymane,
to,
most importantly, probably.
Yeah, very important, and was able to escape there, but she is not safe up here either. Sailor Twift walking under towers, but the jig is up, the news is out, the danger pings have found them.
So, level 10s, which we haven't had a chance to go over yet. That is...
Falling Sword. It's Falling Sword, Mongoose.
It is Falling Sword, my least favorite heroic in the game. But that's why. I assume that's why, right? My issue with Falling Sword, and I totally get why 8-Bit took it in this specific scenario, but my issue with Falling Sword is your tank is just dropping off the map for like a second and a half. But regardless, we have a Nano Boost, Shield Wall from Varian. Always interested to see what talent Varian goes at 10. Cursed Bullet, Durance, and Commandeer Summon Bunker Drop.
Bunker drop. And yeah, for ProBUs, we saw the Falling Sword. We've got the Archon Scarlet Aegis, as maybe slightly predicted, Mighty Gust, And the Hortipult, which I think has lost a significant amount of its popularity. I've seen, at least in my local meta of the A in-houses, I've seen a lot of Shockwave lately. So I'm curious how the Hortipult will be used in this scenario. It gets involved with diving the backline of Die for Catgirls, and maybe as an escape. So
now, worth noting, level 13s, when they arrive for Die for Catgirls, I would really love to see Sailor Swift take that shield breaker and they YOLO onto that Joe. You slam through that iron skin.
Got it.
And she's a blow-up target.
Yep, Shattering Throw has been taken for the Varian, and now Johanna can be safe no more. There it goes. Here comes the no. Neither side plays the mind game of am I going to use cooldowns or not. Very fun in quotes, depending on what side of that you're on.
Yeah, so Falstead's still bottom. They do get there's the taunt. Now there's the shield breaker. Look, it goes, but the Durance missed. Falling Sword to get away. Oh, that's unfortunate. If that Durance had hit, Joe is dead. She is 100% dead.
Factual statements with Mongoose. That is a good escape from 8-Bit, recognizing to use a Falling Sword as an escape when picking it, and also having that available to... and then, unfortunately, on the Mephistomus. Nice sleep, by the way, from Shamhat to prevent Johanna from casting the flashlight over the wall to interrupt.
Yeah, and Tassadar unfortunately just missed his interrupt. There's the taunt on the Joe. There is the Iron Skin getting blown down. The Bio Grenade. Everyone pressing the buttons. Falstad is here, and now a 5v4. There's the Gust. There is Hortipole. Sailor Swift is low. Force use the Protect. Running away, and down Sailor Swift will go as Mephisto goes on the top side, and ProBUs getting their first couple kills of the game. And when I say couple, I mean 4.
2 couples, Mongoose. We've got a couple of couples right there, and what a job that was from ProBUs. They were able to make a fantastic engagement occur just on the southwest side of that broken ice part. Hogger got a ton of value by slamming heroes into the wall, and then Falstad, great timing to fly up and make that team fight happen. Exactly what ProBUs needed, gets them towards level 16 and gets them most of this objective.
Yeah, and not just that, they being ProBUs, have been really good about absolutely making sure that Die for Catgirls has to respond to the Falstad, then getting the fly up. However, Sage is super low, forced to walk through the mud. 8-Bit is low too. Fortunately, that fort up there is dead, allowing 8-Bit to escape. There is the go onto Falstad, barrel rolling to safety. Hogger bouncing all over the place. Health bars are low. Falling Sword does catch Varian, as does the wall. Sailor Swift turns, taunts, does some damage, and ultimately goes down. This is rapidly going in favor of ProBUs, Ace.
Yep, they've adapted to the blow-up style composition, and they are now taking a little bit different of fights to be able to not get blown up, and their blow-up prevention has scaled very well with the Scarlet Aegis, and now with the 2W talents here for Whitemane, the Subjugation to reduce damage on a diving Greymane, and then the Chain so it hits 2 people, really cutting out a lot of the blow-up potential. So Whitemane pick coming through here for Irby.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say 8-Bit might be converting me. I still absolutely hate Falling Swords, but he may have shown me the one and the only time that I would consider taking.
Majesty in chat actually saying Falling Sword is an escape against Varian. It's required for the matchup. Otherwise, Varian farms her on cooldown. Makes sense. Bunker drop used
and we've seen
by Skatgar. Yeah, for sure. There's farming on cooldown. That's a kill, and that's going to stifle all of ProBUs' momentum for this.
And big raid from Nexus Gaming Series. I assume that is from the Storm Division game that was going on. Welcome, 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 party people. You are joining us for Game 2 of the Division B Northeast number 3, number 6 matchup, in which ProBUs is up 1-0 over Die for Catgirls. Currently a little bit ahead in this game, but Johanna has died. Now Die for Catgirls going to make a play on the top boss. Looks like ProBUs probably just ripped that mid-fort down, I would imagine, Ace.
Yeah, I could see that. They could also possibly rotate down to the other boss or try and contest this. It seems like they've opted for none of the above, which I don't think... they are trying to contest this boss. Falstad is able to fly as needed and does has a gust available, but it's not in time as the Catgirls go ahead and pick up that boss before ProBUs could arrive.
And I like the Blaze as the one that Die for Catgirls is kind of keeping to try to match Falstad, because he's the one that contributes probably the least to this blow up that they're running. So you want to be able to keep your blow up pressure with the 4-man here as they push in. There's the Durance of Hate. There is Iron Skin. There is Bio Grenade. But Sailor Twift not pressing any buttons, and now under attack the other way. There's the counter engage. Teeth is low. Fort goes down. The battle rumbles on.
Ooh, nice interception there. One to John Bunyan, and the counter kill onto Teeth is there with the Shockray. Now 8-Bit and the Tassadar Wall walling in the Mephisto and the Johanna. 3 kills over to the side of ProBUs. What an engagement that was for, you know, being under an opposing boss, and now they're at a huge advantage to be able to maybe take the top keep or work on the bottom boss.
Yeah, absolutely. On Alterac, though, typically you tend to see teams have to get 2, not always, but usually get 2 keeps down. So that might buy Die for Catgirls a little bit of time to get back in there. They're not just going to blow through 1 and end the game, probably.
Yep,
but probably.
Pretty difficult to win with 1 keep pre-level 20 especially. But yeah, very, very nice team fight there. Now ProBUs just a half level away from level 20, whereas Die for Catgirls going to need to soak diligently to be able to get towards that level 20 by the time the next objective is, well, it's already here. So they won't get 20 before the next objective, and ProBUs will. Going to be tough for him.
Yeah, Zadie been getting maximum side soak value and really timely globals into these objectives. ProBUs really leveraging that Falstad both games, but in particular game 2 on the much larger Alterac maps.
Yeah, as I kind of mentioned, it was more of a gank style Falstad in game 1, where they would rotate down to go ahead and try and make ganks on the Gazlowe in the bottom lane. But now you see that full macro Falstad playing all the way across the map, never leaving a lane until the fight is breaking out for sure.
Now, I kind of think, and Die for Catgirls obviously agrees, they have to go, even without 20. They do go on to 8-Bit. He is able to run away, but very low in level. The counter engage does get Anna on the backside. Falstad flanking with the Gust. Now Die for Catgirls is in a world of trouble. A second one goes down. Make it 3. Blaze, Mephisto, Anna, Greymane all down, and there's the ace for ProBUs. And I think that's going to be the beginning of the end there.
Yeah, there are no keeps down immediately, but death timers are long enough that at least 2 will be down by the time that anybody reses. So maybe a core defense here for Die for Catgirls, but it's going to be close and difficult at best.
Yeah, and you can see ProBUs understands they really want that second keep down. Falstad's going to burn the second keep, and they're going for a triple keep play here, actually.
Yeah.
So Falstad will take down the third one. ProBUs now marching onto the core/general, and it is melting quick. No members of Die for Catgirls are up and available quite yet. Gust is up now. I assume Zadie will use that if needed, but it won't be. Game 2, over to Die for Catgirls.
Yep.
Or I'm sorry, over to ProBUs.
Over to ProBUs, yeah. 8-Bit vacates the area with the Falling Sword. Can't bear to live in the world with the Falling Sword being the optimal pick.
You know, like I said, it's
Yep.
I haven't seen that whole matchup run a whole lot in my games, so that means this was educational for me. I'm sure 8-Bit will be pleased to know that he is making me better for the next time we play.
Fantastic. How'd that first matchup go? Just making sure to... How'd that go? Did you 2-0 ProBUs?
We did 2-0 ProBUs. Yes,
oh,
we did.
Man. Oh, no.
Yeah,
8-Bit.
well,
You've made Mongoose only more powerful.
You know, but they beat teams that we lost to. Well, I'm sure we'll touch on all this with 8-Bit. But why don't we let's find a lobby to drag him or whatever representative they want to send. Why don't we meet up in NGS lobby 2? That's where I was thinking too.
Sound. And there go the camera sources.
Yep, that's all right. I have another screen just for this.
Oh, amazing. Wonderful. Look at Mongoose so prepared. Good casting tier. So yeah, let's see. Have you messaged anybody
I'm
or?
pinging now.
All right, you go ahead and get in there. But yeah, game summary 13-4 on kills for ProBUs. So I think Die for Catgirls picked up the first 3 kills. And then from there on, once level 10s came in and the white main scaled up to be able to defend against that, and the Johanna was no longer a target due to the falling sword, ProBUs was able to take that map very well. Hey, 8-Bit, you have joined us.
I would say, speaking
Hello,
of
everyone.
Probius, how's it going, 8-Bit? Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you.
Big big playoff win, advancing to the second round, which will take place week after next. Just kind of generally speaking, thoughts on the set tonight. How you guys feeling? What are your expectations going forward? All that good stuff.
Oh gosh.
Spill the beans, 8-Bit. Come on.
Well, it's hard not to feel fantastic after a game like that. It was some days you step into the match lobby and it's just not your day, and some days it is. And I think everyone on Probius should be very proud of how they played today. I think we came here today and we really did sort of bring our A game, and I'm very happy with the results of the match.
All right. Well, 8-Bit, as I'm sure you're aware, in round 2, you will play the winner of Nexus Cats versus Regen Ghost. I have my notebook ready. Is there anything you want to spill the beans on for that matchup?
Oh, good suggestions. You should be target banning the tank. He is a potato. You get him off the Joe, and he can't really do much. Do
Good
that.
to know.
There you
I
go.
wrote it down furiously.
8-Bit, we've scrimmed before in the past. Are you going to bring out the secret murky Abahat strategy against the winner of that match as well?
Only against opponents that deserve it.
Understandable. Couldn't imagine who.
Let's talk about our division a little bit, 8-Bit, because it was very competitive, I thought, largely. Yellow Owls had a fantastic season. They went undefeated until amateur opponents made them bleed late in the season, and I think they finished something like 20-1 or 18-1. So they're the class of the division. But 2, 3, and 4, that would be my squad, Regen Ghost, your squad, Probius, and amateur opponents, had almost identical records. We were separated by a mere 1 point in the standings between the 3 teams. And all 3 of us lost to only Yellow Owls and each other. We had a little round robin. We beat you guys beat amateur opponents beat us. Kind of speak to that. Well, when you guys were talking about the division, did you guys have kind of any thoughts on it, or what was kind of your experience like in B Northeast so far this season?
I mean, I think that's very true to form and how the season played out. The a lot of those teams that you mentioned there towards the top are very veteran squads that have been around for a while, and have established over the course of the last couple seasons that they can compete very strongly with each other. So amongst those 3 groups, it is sort of a uh, I don't want to say a coin flip, but a coin flip on a day in and day basis who's going to take those matches. Yellow Owl has obviously distinguished themselves as kind of the class of the division. They're
They're the
the
team to
unknown
beat.
wild card
Yeah.
going into the season, and they really proved that they they have a lot of skill. So that's kind of the target that we all have our eye on. And we all sort of know the division is going to go through them. For you and I specifically, it's gonna be a ways off before we get that opportunity to redeem ourselves. But we're all looking forward to the challenge. I myself remember last season when we had our own Yellow Owl that previous year, a very very strong squad that looked nearly as dominant as they do, and they didn't end up taking the division. They ended up losing in the final set to Die for Catgirls just across the way.
Yep, absolutely.
So, you know, as strong as they look, anything can happen on game day.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 seasons ago, I was on a team that finished 8 seed. We were not playing particularly well at the end of the season, frankly. 3 of us already knew we were going to be on other teams. I think we were already mentally checked out a little bit. And the team that we got to face off against in the C West playoffs was the number 1 seeded and undefeated Better Than Bots. And we beat them, flabbergasting ourselves. We were completely blown away that that happened because there was no indication to anybody that that ever should have happened. And that's just how it goes sometimes. Every season in NGS, there is a number 8 seed that takes down a number 1 seed. There's a number 7 seed that takes down a number 2 seed. Yellow Owls looks fantastic, but you just never know.
It's a bit of ProBUs lore at this point, for those who can remember back this far. But in our second NGS season ever, we limped into the playoffs as a 7 seed, and we ended up winning every single set via reverse sweep all the way to the grand finals, and came 1 game away from winning those grand finals against Weenus and his Clouded Minds. So,
And
even
if I recall, I think you guys had some pretty banana game endings that playoff run too, yeah?
there's a 3 versus 5 fight on the boss of Towers of Doom to win out to win the game deciding match against House of Ches. Yeah, it's I can still hear arrows scream inside my head.
Who wouldn't?
Well, congratulations again. We'll let you get back to your team. Send them our best. Well, actually, before I say that, Eighths, any questions from you on the way out?
No, because I can just DM any of them to 8-bit. No, I'm kidding. Nah, I'm, thought you played it quite well, and wish you good luck going forward. But wink, wink, hint, hint. If there happens to be a Region Ghost ProBUs matchup, wink, wink, hint, hint. Let somebody know, and somebody else might pick up a cast. I don't know. Wink, wink, hint, hint.
Duly noted. I'm gonna.
Am I?
Yeah, I
Okay.
got it. We
All right,
play.
all right. It was a little subtle.
Yeah, it was
but-
very subtle. Just before we let 8-Bit go, because we're gonna keep plugging our own home division here because we love it and it was so much fun this season. We'll give you this edge. So the Yellow Owls, who we spoke with about frequently, they have their match next Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, against the veteran longest standing team in NGS, Duraton's Couch.
Most seasons played. Well
Yep.
done to them.
Yep. Been around since season 1. Wedge and Goliath. I believe Goliath is on that team now, right? And friends?
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
he is.
Well,
Being
Wedge and
casted
Wildcard
on
veterans.
twitch.tv/bloody924. Amateur opponents number 4 versus Gobby Legs number 5 on Wednesday at 6:15. That should be a really good matchup. No caster as of yet. I'm sure someone will grab it. And then I, myself, and my teammates on Regen Ghost get the pleasure of fighting Nexus Cats. It'll be 2 weeks in a row. It was actually our last game of the season was against them as well. Next Wednesday at 6 p.m., where Jazleen will cast us. We love playing those guys. We played them in the XGDI finals a couple seasons ago, and they kicked the snot out of us. So it's always fun playing those guys. Hopefully we play well and get the honor of playing 8-Bit and ProBUs again here in a couple weeks. 8-Bit, shout-outs on your way out the door.
Huge shout outs to the probe team tonight. Thank you, Zadie, Irby, Sage, and John Bunyan, aka Juan Bunyan. Huge shout out to Die for Catgirls for playing a fantastic match tonight. Shout out to you guys for picking up the cast. We always appreciate it. I hope you got some wonderful scouting notes, Mr. Mongoose.
I had my notebook right here, went old school and had a pen and paper.
Only way to do it. Shout outs to NGS for giving us this great space to play and enjoy the game. Shout outs to my lovely wife and son who are hopefully tuning in today. Love you, honey.
Yeah, last week I did shout outs to NGS spouses because NGS spouses, best spouses, they they watch the kids and tolerate us spending probably too much time playing video games. And without all of the wonderful NGS spouses allowing us to do that, NGS definitely wouldn't be a thing. So I love spouse shoutouts. Well, congrats again, 8-Bit, and we'll catch up with you soon, bud.
Thank you. Have a wonderful night.
Ace, it took
See ya.
far too long for us to cast together.
It did, Mongoose. It did. It took a long time, but you know what? We got there. It might be season 11, but we got there. We've queued together plenty of times, but yeah, it was a pleasure casting with you.
We
Hope
will
we can do it
100% do that again.
again.
It's good times.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. So,
Any shout outs or anybody you wanna say hi, mom, to before we bounce out of here?
twitch.tv/mongoose_22/subscribe. Thanks for watching.
All right. All right, friends. We are going to throw you over to the one and only NGS match currently going on, and it's a bloodbath, let me tell you. NGS Division E West, one of the one of the couple round robin divisions still wrapping up their regular season. Flint Tropics versus Liquid Metal. They are at the end of game number 1. So we're going to throw you over there now. I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of their week, and good luck to everyone in the playoffs.
Cries in last place team.